Okay. So Caroline, you wanted to get an idea of what to offer on this house at 2611 Grayhawk. This is a new listing. Multiple offers. Deadline is 9 o'clock. Today's the 26th, Sunday the 26th. Sellers prefer a 60-day lease back. We got to remember that. Okay. Let's write that down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take a look in this subdivision first and see what the activity looks like. This is El Dorado Estate West Phase 3. I'm just going to look at the subdivision as a whole and not worry about what phase it is right now and see how many sales have taken place in there. So I'll go and I'll do a detailed search, residential. I'm going to paste the subdivision in there, El Dorado Estate West, and then many of these will have a different phase. So I'm going to put the wild card, the star, in there. Okay. And it shows me that there's two actives. Now I'm going to go in and look at sales in the last 30 days because the market is changing so fast. We've got to look at the most recent sales. When I do that, it bumps it up. You see 7 matches down here in the bottom. So if I take a look at the results, what I see is I've got my listing here, Grayhawk, yours 2611. There's another active called Still Springs. And then we have these others that are sold in here. Now, I'm going to just sort this on square footage because what we find is that these first 3 houses are really the ones that are most important here in terms of being similar. They're 3-bedroom. And so if I look at these, once I get into anything more than about above 5 bedrooms and above, 2,500 square feet, they really are not going to be as good of comps. So I'm going to look at these first 5 here. The reason why I'm leaving these 2 bottom ones out is they're 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath. They're just much bigger, more bedrooms. This one's listed at $454,900. Let's look at that one real quick and see what the story is with that. It's obviously listed too high. They've already had a price reduction from $459 down to $454,900. And it's been on the market 27 days. So when Christy listed this one, she listed it way too high. So I'm going to leave that one out as a comp because it hasn't sold. Now to get back to where I was, I just go to the single line and I check the first 5 here because they're the most similar to 2611 Grayhawk. Now I'm going to click on Quick CMA. And what that's going to do is it's going to download my CMA, which I'll open right here and slide over so you can see it. Okay. So what we see is here's our listing, 2611 Grayhawk. It's listed at $163 a square foot. And if we look at these other ones that have sold, and these are the ones that really count, we look down here and we see the average sales price per square foot is right there. Okay, that's the average. That's really important to know. The average sales price to list price is $105.77. Now, the reason why these are important to know, I'll show you here, is because we're going to figure out, based on where these other houses sold for, what our house should sell for. So it looks like 163.17 is where it's listed. The average is 170.55. You follow me? So we look at how many square feet ours is, and we see that it's 2154, or sorry, 2145. And then instead of using $163 a square foot, I'm going to use 170.55. So I take 2154 times 170.55. So 365,829 could be a reasonable number for this house to sell at. Now, we're going to look at something else here in a minute just to see why, because these other houses over here, Still Springs and 2644 Greyhawk, sold for, well, one of them sold for 193.72 a square foot, and the other one sold for 165. We're just going to see why. It appears to me that this one was listed way low. This one right here was listed very low, and so was this one. All right, now this other one here sold for a higher dollar per square foot. We'll look at that in a second and figure out why. But did you write that number down for us? Okay, based on the price per square foot? That's
Yes.
this number right here. So write that number down and save it. And then the other thing we can look at is we see over here that these houses sold for 5.77% more than their list price. Okay, that's sales price to list price up here. So they sold for more. The average was 373, average list price. The average sold price was 394,500. That's 5% higher. So now we can do another calculation just to kind of look at sort of a technical side of this as opposed to a fundamental side. And let's see what we come up with.
Hey, can we add him in here?
Well, I'm going to go over this with him as soon as we know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, I'll redo this live for him.
Okay.
But I want you and I to understand it first.
Okay.
I want to figure this out while he's on the phone. I want to know what I'm talking about. All right. What was the list price of this house again? 350?
350.
Okay. I think that's probably a little underpriced, which the agent probably did a smart thing here. So 350 times 105%, actually 5.77% equals 370,195. So that would be another indication of where the house should sell. Okay, what was the first one that we had?
365.80.
Okay,
365.8.
those are pretty close. So 370 is another one here. Now let's go back and look at this one that sold for 193, because everything else, do you see everything else sold really close? Everything else sold for right around $160 to $165 a foot. This one on Still Springs Drive sold for a lot more. So let's go back and see why. So here's Still Springs Drive. Why did it sell for as much as it did? Well, they got yard of the month. Okay, that tells us one thing. It's well kept. Ah, look at this. Remodeled master shower with, look at this, floor to ceiling. Okay, so this thing has been remodeled. Let's take a look at how the remodel job went. Still has carpet in old colors. Kitchen looks original. It's got that ceramic tile in the kitchen. These are all, I think, old D.R. Horton homes here. But, if I remember this floor plan. And let's see what the kitchen. Now there's the kitchen. You see how that it's frameless showers and It's got gray instead of cream color, so that's all been updated. These look like the original cabinets and original granite though, but they must have just taken the tub out and made the shower bigger. See that? So everything else about this house looks pretty, here we go. They have a big outdoor patio and a pergola. Okay. See that? So that's where, and it's very beautifully landscaped, very nice. Here it is right here. Okay. So let's go look at the house that we want to put an offer in on, this one, and see how that compares. Okay, it looks like the colors have been updated. Maybe the house has been painted. This is all original here for sure. Let's see if there's anything else. The built-ins there are nice. Okay, it's hard to tell the colors. This could be the camera. Was it gray? Was this, do you remember if the master was a kind of a blue color?
I think it was blue.
Okay. Now see, here's the old, so this, in order to do what they did to that shower to pull this bathtub out and redo it, that's about probably a $12,000, I would say, job to remodel that bath, but that's what they did. And they have granite in here. So this bath has obviously not been redone. Okay. So that's the difference. Plus there's no patio and no pergola on this one. So we should expect it to sell for quite a bit less. Okay. So that's the difference.
Yes.
So we could, in reality, we could probably take, if we went back and looked at our CMA again, we could probably take that house that sold for 193 out. Let's look at the other ones real quick and just make sure that they didn't sell for some other reason. I mean, there was nothing unusual about these. Here's one here. This one had a nice big outdoor patio, and it also had a backed up to the green belt there. Okay, so this one had some pluses. So I can see why she priced it where she did. It's not been updated. It's a better location though. Okay. So there's that one. And then the next one is this one, Fawn Meadow. What did that sell for? It sold for 160. I bet you this one was not updated either. Yeah, carpets are, let's see here. Yeah, it's got faux in there. It's not a great floor plan. Not updated. So that's really the difference in those houses. This one even had a nice big patio too. So, and it had a storage out there, which is not that big a deal, but you can kind of see that was built in 2004. This one on Greyhawk sold for 165, has a new garage door.
They did some upgrades to that house, to Greyhawk. So they say, well, new washer and dryer, new refrigerator, new garage door, new microwave.
Okay, so the washer and dryer and the fridge don't stay with the house. Let's go back and look at that and see what they have online here. It's just transaction desk. They don't have anything up here, really.
Yeah, they do. Go back, click on the listing. Yeah. If you go to, yeah.
There we go. Ah, okay, upgrades. So the washer dryer and the fridge are not going to stay. Let's go back and look and see if there are any exclusions. And they're taken, so it's kind of silly that they put that in there as upgrades because they're not staying. But I would make sure, and in fact, can you text Jessica real quick at this number and say, hi, Jessica. I see.
Can you read it to me, the number?
Yeah, it's 419.
Yeah.
509 6805. I would say, hi, Jessica. I see the washer, dryer, and fridge are listed as upgrades on Greyhawk. Are they staying with the house? Thanks, Caroline. EXP Realty. Okay.
Okay.
Great. So again, they've got this listed at 163. And I want to go back here and revisit what we talked about a second ago. And that was regarding this CMA.
Yes, they convey.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good news because on the other houses, they didn't. So what I'm thinking here is we were pretty darn close on what it would take to get the house. Especially considering this one here. I'm thinking that 170 would probably take it, 170 a square foot. So somewhere between 365 and 375, somewhere in there, maybe 370 would probably get the deal done. What is their pre-approval of good up to?
365.
Well, they're going to have to go all in, and I don't think that's going to win it. So let me stop this recording. I think we've done what we need to do here.